I did, yes ma'am.
Thank you.
Call the meeting for the city of Vernon, October 17th, 2022 to order. Jackie, please.
Gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this opportunity to be here to take care of business through our city in your name. And we ask you, Lord, that you'll just be with us as we have this meeting and continue to be with us after the meeting. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, there's no reason to vote on the consent agenda because there are no meeting minutes to approve in my packet. Did anybody else have any?
Okay, can I? Ms. Vicky has been working on them because they have not been done since May, and she's already done several.
Okay.
But we just figured we would do them, she would finish them and then we'd present them all at the next meeting, if that's okay.
All right, mayor's report.
We'll talk about the DEP consent order some. I've been talking to Dale Long about it, talked to him Friday, and many have been emailing back and forth some. There is no 1.4% anywhere, it's just bottom line, $12,750. And they'll meet with Jimmy and Jason after the meeting or in the morning, talk about some things we can do for that amount of money. And go ahead and get it to Dale this week. Dale suggested this thing about these, what they call them, manhole. I can't think of the technical name. They fit right inside a manhole where we have manholes in a low-lying area where water runs in, that stops the water, which is help with the inflow.
What would that cost flood?
With that, it causes flooding to keep the water from going to the sewer plant.
Oh, okay.
That's all it does. And if you got several manholes in a low-lying area, that adds up over a period of time. Also, the other thing we're looking at is Jason's got some manholes that are leaking. Have a company come in and line them manholes that are leaking bad. So we're gonna present them two options. I'm gonna present them with a sports place. I don't know if they'll do it about the sewer out there. All they can do is say no. I think we can come up with some more things, but I'll get with them, get it done and get it all to Dale. Keep all the dates in line.
Mr. Gary, I have a question. I was under the assumption that whatever if we did an in-kind project, that it couldn't have anything to do with sewer.
No, it has to do with sewer.
It has to do, okay.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying, no?
I'm sorry?
Is that what you're gonna say?
Doesn't necessarily have to do with sewer.
It doesn't, no, you can put in LED light and see what.
He did say that, yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing, it can do with sewer, but it's gotta be something that you have not planned on, looked at, or moved forward with the sewer, like something to enhance what you're already doing that you probably wouldn't do. Your rain guard thing might work, putting in the manhole, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
You know, and it don't take long to burn up $12,000.
You got that right.
With those, they went.
They're $300
extremely high. They're over $200. Now understand your fine is $12,250.
Right.
The other $500, I would suggest y'all go and make arrangements and pay for that. There is no in-kind for that. That's just the administrative cost.
Right.
And I would definitely go on and, you know, try
The
to
administrative part.
get that done and go on and send them the check for that, even though you're wanting to do in-kind. Get that out of the way, where it doesn't slip up on you. But your in-kind's gotta be at least $12,250. The way I understand it. But like reboring something like over at the rec center, replacing that,
I don't think it's right. Dale said put anything.
Yeah, I
We
think
could-
that's.
The more options we could put in there, the better off we were. What do you think about lining the manholes?
I don't think so. But you can try. But you really need to pick something, because if you read into that consent order, whatever you pick for any kind, you gotta write a narrative of that.
Right.
So you don't wanna send over 5 narratives for all you've looked at, you know, that's gonna take somebody a lot of time and effort.
Right.
You know, I've been turned down for a manhole, I can tell you that, so. I mean, I think just from what I've heard so far, the rain guard that y'all brought up tonight, unless you wanted to do something with LED lighting, I think that might be the best shot, because there's been no talk, there's no future plans putting in rain guards. I just know that they're extremely expensive. They went up probably double in the last 2 years. I would definitely go with the middle of those stuff.
And if that don't work, Gary, we just run put that money. I mean, sometimes it's cheaper just to go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
And because it comes at a time and point where you have deadlines that we're gonna have to meet. And if we don't meet those deadlines, we're gonna be in bad shape.
Right, I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I've always been, you know, I've always been one to say, I would rather see it get paid. Let's close that, because as soon as that fine's paid, they're gonna close that consent order. Won't be looking at that again.
Well, and that was my concern too, is manpower. We have an issue with that as well. So if we're gonna do an in-kind project, it needs to be something that's not gonna take up a lot.
Contract that out. I would feel like. We'll look at it and see. All right. Yellow Jacket Drive, Vernon. This is the paperwork. That right there is on Yellow Jacket Drive. Crazy. But Dale's been in contact with the lady at DOT, been in contact with me. Looks like we'll be able to use Dale as the engineer, but the inspection services, he cannot do. We'll have to get a certified inspector for that. We'll talk to Dale again tomorrow about it. And anyway, either way it goes, we'll look at it. If Dale Designs or anybody else, looking at 6 months down the road, so we need to do something about them holes. We need to fill them in with something. And we need to buy a tamp to whatever we put in there, tamp it down while we go with it, just.
putting it in there, let the cars
And I talked to Jason about a tamp. So I reckon we need to have a tamp on the next, according to how much it is on the agenda at the next meeting. But we can't leave them roads like that for that long.
But we keep putting stuff in them and it just keeps.
But if we'll tamp it out in layers, it'll stay a lot longer.
Jason, can you get us some prices on the tamp for the next meeting?
We might need to go ahead and just rent one, get the stuff and fix it, and we'll get it done. We'll price the material and see. Crash analysis at the red light. This crash analysis was done on January the 7th on a Tuesday. June the 7th, excuse me, on a Tuesday. We all know that's gonna be a low traffic count on a Tuesday morning in Vernon. So what I wrote notes, and then we can just write a letter to her about new business there, about new business down here, people turning in there, come all the way around and go to this new store, like the 2 new stores. They don't account for school traffic when they do it, no school system in. They don't account for school buses and all the people hauling their kids to school. Don't even count for beach traffic. It doesn't account for any of your holidays, your big events at the beach.
on the beach.
Mr.
Under
Gary,
beach.
also, that done, we know that there's some type of business going across the street
Yeah,
at the other
I don't
place.
know what.
There's been 2 accidents in the last
yeah.
less than 2 weeks. One of them was a bus, so maybe we could get the school board to also write a letter about the bus traffic through there.
Yeah, I'll probably get that done. Yeah. Also in there about no turning lanes around, people go in there to make U-turn, makes it more dangerous. I'll go ahead and get this letter sent, and I'll get with the school board.
Thank you.
I'm going to a county commission meeting Thursday about the dirt back here in Hall. I have not got up Mr. Harris, I've been up there twice, and I will get up with him.
I was just fixing to ask you about that.
That's all I got.
Anybody have anything for the mayor?
I have a question. Didn't my brother speak to you about
Yes,
the
it's speaking to me, and
lack of visibility?
I'm waiting to get hold of the right person
Okay.
that tells me I can cut it. And I
Okay.
reckon I'll go around there and get that.
It wouldn't take long to take care of it. Do they know what we're talking
Right there
about?
where Paul Little's, that
Can't see
fence
the
comes out too far, it's
boundary.
dangerous.
You can't see, you can't see the traffic.
Nope. We saw that yesterday.
Yeah, it's
I can attest to
scary.
that. You can't see coming in and out of the store, you can't see pulling out of Mr. Paul's driveway,
Uh-huh.
either way,
Yeah.
because both those fences are.
Yeah, it's not a benefit to him, it's a benefit
Oh,
to
yeah,
our
yeah.
community that there not be
Yeah.
an
Well, and when
accident
you're going
there.
that way, if somebody pulls out of the store, they can't see you when they're out in front of you.
It's bad.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time. Attorney's report?
I don't have anything.
Clerk's report?
Okay. Well, Rose fixed us these packets and she left me a list of things I needed to tell y'all, so I'm very thankful for her today.
Yeah.
So let's get to it. Hang on, I gotta find it again now. Okay, there were temporary construction easements sent out to residents. I think Jason's gotta get in and work on some property and needed easements signed to do that. Is that what that is? But I do have a question about that. One of the property owners came by, last week, and she wanted to know where you would be on the property before she signed the easement.
That's the one,
And it's the lady that,
lazy bone down there,
Mhm.
or off the creek.
so it's for, you gotta be on her property to fix it, but it's for somebody else.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, it's kind of on the corner there.
Are there gonna have to be trees cut or
We just got to move that meter, is what it
just move the
is.
meter? So there's not gonna be trees cut or her property just, okay. Alright. Sorry, I'm making notes as I go. Alright, let's see. We're in the process of having the sign requested to direct citizens to the city hall by DOT, so that's been sent in to DOT. The trim package we're working on, the property appraiser's office will have their portion in tomorrow, and then we'll go back and finish that. Everything is done. Rose had already done everything she could do. We're just waiting on the property appraiser's office, and they gave us tomorrow's date. So then we'll go back in, and we have until the 26th. So as soon as their part's in, we'll finish it, email it, and that will be done. Lee hasn't been able to come to the office yet, but we have an appointment for Wednesday morning at 9, and I think he's sending Garrett. And we're gonna try to go over some of the, that's for my benefit, to go over some of the, accounting issues and try to get some things figured out. Also he wants us to go to QuickBooks from Banyan on all of that, and I need to know that that's a go, because 9/30 ended our fiscal year, so we're now in this new budget. And so just to say that the stack of invoices down there that paid are all late, so they were in last year's budget that I just paid, or that I just did the checks for.
In a previous meeting, we discussed
Yeah.
Lee's request for that, and I know that, Mr. Garner spoke up and said that he would find out something about QuickBooks being compatible because of the IT service. I'm pretty sure that QuickBooks is gonna be, it's not gonna be an issue. I don't think there's gonna be compatibility issues.
Okay.
Unless, has he called it, he hasn't said anything to you.
No, he hasn't heard anything.
Well, QuickBooks ran on the older computers, QuickBooks runs on most everybody's computer, I don't see it being an issue, and I've spoken with him at length, and he really thinks that it would benefit the city to go back on the financial side of it with QuickBooks. He didn't believe there would be a problem with it interfacing with Banyan. If that's the case, I think we should let him go back to it. It's gonna be a lot easier.
It's easier.
More people know how to handle QuickBooks. It's just, there's so much extra steps in Banyan on the financial side of it until, according to Lee, it's just a nightmare.
So I will tell y'all that what I have done so far is just try to find invoices and pay bills. And, I've downloaded a manual from Banyan, printed it, went into how to pay the bills, and that's how I have done that. Haven't made it any farther than, posting deposit slips or anything because I've spent the last week trying to find all the invoices and pay the bills. But we are paid with Banyan through April. But right now, if you guys are gonna do it, it's the time to do it because we're going into the next year. So we need to do it, get it in there so that everything we're paying going forward is in this fiscal year and in QuickBooks. So if that's a go, I'll talk to them about it Wednesday.
I don't have a problem with it. Is that something we need to vote on? It's not, is it, as long as we're in agreement, or should we vote on it?
I was thinking y'all already.
I thought
We already
agreed
said
on
we
that.
was gonna do it.
Yeah.
We said it before.
I said just go ahead and do it.
This is just since I wasn't here, I don't know. Tim hasn't mentioned anything. Oh, sorry. I was going on to the recreation report. I did have a couple of things though, and I apologize. We have a large bill to one customer that really needs to get paid because some of the invoices are from June. And it's a very large bill. But we cannot pull the funds from ARPA like we thought we were going to, so we're gonna talk to Lee about that or Garrett, whichever one, on Wednesday. So I'll probably have to get up with you, Ms. Gwen, and you to come sign those checks because there's not money in the water and sewer to pay it. So we're gonna transfer ARPA to something else and then we can pay out of a different account. But I would just suggest, and Michelle and I had talked about it, that all that money that's sitting there so that you don't have to go through, is it okay for me to say that? Okay. So that, because every time money needs to be transferred from the ARPA funds, if it's over $5,000, you have to go through the city's procurement plan and get bids.
Didn't we previously discussed having all that put into the general ledger and then working out it from there?
In the
and
general
keeping
fund.
the bookkeeping, didn't we, Michelle?
Well, you have to do, you have to allocate it still to an appropriate expenditure. The issue that we've got with these purchases is that we didn't follow the city's purchasing policy, which is gonna be an issue from an audit standpoint.
These are the ones that were,
Definitely.
excuse me, I didn't mean to butt in. These are the ones that are done all under that emergency, the sewer yard, the spray field, that's where all that's coming from.
And I have called them and told them that we were working on it, that I would be getting checks out to them this week. I don't wanna be a liar. But it's $40-some thousand, and I'm sure they would like to have that since some of them are from June. I don't want them to cut us off, so. And they seem like really nice folks, but I wanna get it straight so that I'm not made a
If they're
liar.
the money, they need to get paid, so,
And that's our lifeline, them people there.
Yeah, just-
Yeah, cause I mean, if something were to happen, and Jason has to call for Jimmy for an emergency, well, you're gonna send that $4,000, so.
yeah, just call us when you need it.
I called him and told him I was gonna get it to him this week, but still, we've gotta get the money into an account so that it can happen.
We need to have a vote transfer.
I would go ahead and vote on it so that we don't have to check how it wants. Lee just has to direct us as to how
How to do it.
how to document
Okay, so
the reimbursement.
we need to add that as number 14,
I would,
to vote to pay,
Or maybe vote to move ARPA funds. Or you're gonna have to do this every time.
okay.
And then I did leave on everybody's stuff, I left a letter we got, or an email we got from DEP today that was changing, it's a minor permit revision. And Jimmy, I forwarded it to you, so you'd have it,
The revision,
yeah.
yeah, that's pretty much, that's not a big deal, right?
I just wanted everybody to know that it was there, and then I gave everybody the little information about getting your that thing you're supposed to do every year,
Ethics.
certification
Ethics.
with ethics, yeah. And I'll call them tomorrow and find out if there's gonna be more, cause I think you might can do it on you, like maybe a couple years ago, they had it on YouTube too, and then you could call in to certify it. So I'll find out tomorrow about that, and that's all I have.
Have you got into contact with the bank yet?
I spoke to the bank last week because I actually called them about the ARPA funds, because I thought it shows up in Banyan as ARPA and the account, but there's no checks for it, because I was just gonna do it that way. And then I said, well, I called them and said, can I transfer this money to water sewer? But then thought, well, I should ask Michelle and Lee before I do that. So that's how we ended up here. But they said that, there's a letter in there about getting new signature cards and all that. And that's, I think, at towards the end.
Yes,
But
so
she
we-
was very nice, very helpful. She emailed everything. Her name's Tiffany at First Federal.
So Gwen and I just need to sign this letter.
Yeah, it just had to be on letterhead.
So we need to sign that.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And just sign one copy, so if Becky wants to sign it and send it to you, then you can sign. And that's it, I think, unless y'all have questions for me. Don't ask me how it's going.
I do. I know that, Rose had spoke to council and, you said earlier.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that.
That, she was gonna come back and help you.
Rose came today and helped. Her last official day was Friday as a full-time employee, but she had said that she could come back and help, and so she's been coming, she came today. She wants to come some more to see us through certain it's mostly so to show Miss Vicky like putting in billing and then, just things like that. So as long as y'all are good with that, or do you have a certain amount that you want her to come?
Whenever she can, I guess, until she's finished.
Okay,
I guess it's, she just schedule it with you on.
okay. Well, she'll be here tomorrow, so, but, you know, that way,
Just schedule.
it's a
for what
smoother
you-
transition.
Yeah, what you guys need.
Yeah, and I appreciate her helping, cause she put the whole packet together while I was fumbling through invoices Friday.
Does anybody have anything for our clerk? I would like to say thank you very much, Candace and Miss Vicky. We appreciate y'all.
You're welcome.
Recreation report.
Tim hadn't mentioned anything.
No, and we also have a bullet sheet here, and I'm assuming Rose did this, that kind of goes along with the agenda, and she mentioned here that, he had not said anything about needed, anything specific to be brought up at the meeting.
On that recreation report, I got something I want to bring up. We had an agreement with Tim whenever the football season started to help maintenance for lawnmowers and paint. The paint that goes on the football fields and stuff. And that's gonna be coming up sooner or later. So, you may wanna go ahead and stick that in there somewhere, or the back note that there is some maintenance that's gonna be for the lawnmower. And not only is the city's gonna pay for part of it, the high school's paying for part of it, the middle school's paying for part of it. So it's not gonna be, all the city. So, I mean, we're dividing all that up, so I just wanted to bring that up.
And you said Bill paint?
Yes.
Public Works report.
Guess y'all covered most everything. And the other thing I think is on here. Yep. The only thing really, I have two things. The DEP, we just had DEP inspection. It went good, just a few little things me and Jimmy's got to do. And Taylor Power is working on generators as we speak.
They started, is that the company that was at the fire department?
Yeah. They started there, and then they're gonna go to the, I guess, well 3 next, to the main ones. And they're gonna hold off, and that's something I gotta get with her about, the insurance on that one, that there. And I'll talk to you tomorrow about that, so. That's the main stuff. And then the other one's on the, we've covered, the other one's on the Shady Brook thing.
What about, Circle H?
Certainly it's about started either. I'm just waiting, I got 2 rolls in, I'm waiting on 1 more roll of pipe coming, that's all.
Okay, and what about the tap in on the school mill?
Split mill.
Update on that?
I reached out to BTC, but they said that they would give me a quote, and so they come out here and look at it. So the only one I've got right now is Trey. But I told them I needed it before this council meeting, so that I could let y'all know, but I have not got one from anybody. So I didn't know what y'all wanted, if y'all wanted me to wait till I got them.
Why you didn't change it like that?
I couldn't hear.
Speak up, Jason, tell her about that.
Yeah, we had to have 3 quotes on the spoon mill tap. To bore the road. Well, I got one for 800, and then the other one, I reached out and they haven't given me one. I told them I had to have one before I could do it. I couldn't just do word of mouth or kinda, so.
How much is it?
800 is the one I got.
Can you take care of it?
Yeah, you could be able to. Where's the money coming from?
Well, Rose was supposed to talk to the guy to see if he was going to help. I don't know yet.
I'll have to ask her about that because
Ask
I don't
Rose
know.
about the spoon mill. She talked to them about if they were going to fund it.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
About the boring on the school mill?
Yeah,
Pay for it.
or if they were gonna pay for the whole thing. I didn't think about asking her that. I forgot she was gonna be gone.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you. Our chief's report.
He called and then he also sent an email. He is deployed, with the Bay County Fire Rescue for 14 days. And, the Assistant Chief Greg Pettis and Captain Lucas Seeley will be the point of contact if we need anything. He said that they had the generator off engine 240, and it needed repair work done, so they took it to Lanes and it is fixed. And that's all he had. And he's got some reports he's gonna send me, that are due to get the money from the county.
The quarterly report.
Yeah, and also I did forget to tell y'all that we have an audit. I got an email, or actually a call. We have an, audit for, I brought it or not. But it's, workers' comp audit, and she's gonna come on November 2nd. So I'll get all the paperwork together for her to come, the auditor to come look at, and, but it is a workers' comp audit, and they'll be in the office on November 2nd, between like 2 and 3 p.m., I think.
Public participation. Ms. Rhonda?
Well, it hasn't come up yet.
Okay, so, just wait.
Yeah, let's just wait till you go through the agenda.
Mr. Spencer,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna call you, and let you pronounce your last name, so I'll mess that, please.
Bienvenue.
See, I would've messed that up.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
You're signed in for public participation?
Basically, I just wanted to, I met several of you and I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm with CDG Engineers. We've worked with y'all in the past. I haven't had the opportunity to, but we're of course looking for opportunities to work with you guys, whether it be on the CDBG that's coming up or help you guys find funding through some of the opportunities they have out there, especially the DEP reallocated funds that have happened recently. We just would love the opportunity to work with y'all again, and I'm just here to introduce myself to those who I haven't met.
Well, it's nice to meet you, and thank you for coming.
And would you spell your last name, please?
I'll bring you one of my cards.
Okay.
I got the card.
Sorry about that.
Appreciate it.
Is there any more public participation?
I forgot, I do have something. It looks to me like that one of those trees beside the bench in memory of the young people who passed away, looks like one of them might be dead.
Okay.
I think it's the same one that we've already had to replace.
And there may be something in the ground there.
It looked good to me the other day.
It may need to be dug out enough and the soil improved first
Okay.
there. And it may not be dead, you can scratch the trunk and see, but it kind of looks sad.
Okay, new business, number 1, evaluation for Jason Road. I'm assuming that, Michelle, correct me if I'm wrong, we give all these to the mayor and he signs off on them, they go to the clerk and then they go in the file, correct?
Unless there's anything that
Needs to be,
any performance issues that need to be addressed with them.
pass that down.
Put your name on
I didn't do that, by the way.
Hey, she's talking about the tree where we, by the bench, thing, right?
Yeah.
Jason, I think you're gonna find it's gonna be the same one you had to replace. Ms. Ronda's suggestion was maybe dig it out more, maybe use some fertilizer or something. Okay, number 2, consent order update. We pretty much covered that, Mr. Jerry did. Number 3, vote to approve the purchase policy and adopt resolution 22-188. So let me go ahead.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, aye. Motion approved. Okay. This is to adopt resolution number 22-188, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Vernon, Florida, providing for the adoption of a revised municipal purchasing policy and procedure. Motion approved.
Make a motion to approve.
Second. Discussion. All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. Number 4, grant updates. Mr. Gary, you pretty much covered those,
You
didn't you?
got in there where the money's been approved, but you won't get order for a while for the sewer plant, which is 2.2 million.
Yes, you want.
Still waiting on to get, the money's there for several of them, they're just waiting on Tallahassee to send notification.
Well, and I noticed too, in the letter that we received from the governor's office, it said that somebody would be in contact within the next couple of weeks, so.
Yeah.
I'm assuming, Candace, that they'll be reaching out to you.
And Melissa Fox is coming to go over grants. I already had one meeting, on the phone with Fred, but Melissa's coming to go over grants on Wednesday.
Number 5, vote to accept the SFGA/SOP/AD adopt resolution 22-189. Resolution number 2022-189, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Vernon, Florida, approving the supplemental grant agreement between the city and the State of Florida Department of Transportation regarding the Yellow Jacket Drive reconstruction project, providing for an effective date.
So this is a resolution adopting, or approving a supplemental grant agreement on Yellow Jacket Drive, making the change that allows us to use municipal engineering. It's just that minor change, they wanted another resolution.
So do I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion, we're gonna move.
Second? Discussion. All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. Number 6, vote to select administrator for the CDBG in 107.
Make a motion, that we just select someone, an administrator.
Your selection committee, your score sheets are in your packet. Your selection committee, with Fred Fox. It's up to the council. He's the only one to put in, so he don't really choice on that one.
So do I have a motion to select Fred Fox as administrator for the CDBG in 107?
I make a motion.
Second. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Number 7, vote to select an engineer for CDBG in 107.
That was between Dale Long and
We already,
and everything, that company name. Y'all got it in your packet. That's between municipal engineering and CDG. Municipal engineering scored highest on the points. You can pick either one, that's up to the council.
What's the will of council? I need a motion to approve one or the other.
I got the points here, y'all can read the points off to you.
Yes.
There were 2 proposals for engineering services, municipal engineering, Dale Long, and CDG. They're out of, are y'all not out of Dothan?
I'm out of Dothan, yes, sir.
Yeah. Selection committees awarded municipal engineering a combined score of 442 points out of a possible 500 with an average score of 88.4 out of 100. The selection committee awarded CDG a combined score of 393 points out of a possible 500 with an average score of 78.6 out of 100. It is the committee's recommendation to the council to hire municipal engineer for this project. That's it.
Council want to go with the recommendation with municipal engineering or CDG. I need a motion.
That's the deal, Mom.
Municipal Dale.
I make a motion that we, hire Dale Long for the municipal engineering project. This
Second,
project.
Second.
discussion. All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. Number 8, project graduation. We did, that's what I was gonna say, but
Yeah.
our discussion was to give the project graduation $1,500, same as we did last year.
Okay, in your packets, there's also a letter from Chipley High School this year.
We
So-
generally, I believe we got one last year, and we
No,
generally,
we take care of our own. Yeah, that's the money we need to get it done. How much we give the other municipalities? Everybody got to pay on when it comes to the cash. We never did before. We never did that before.
Number 9, Shady Grove Park.
Yeah, it's a mess.
In your packet, there is a report along with,
With these people and everything else.
Then we'll give you a rundown, kinda.
Yeah. Come
I
on.
wasn't there when they, I guess this happened the night before. or-
Yeah, the sheriff's deputy came to the office and said he had had a report that the window was busted out, and so he came the next day to get Jason to go out there and meet with him.
So whoever it was that was in there was kind of smart about it. So they had all the bottoms of the door jams plugged, so you couldn't see no light if they had light on. And I guess from what we could tell is while they were in there, they had the board put back up, so it looks like it was screwed shut. And then they had all the deadbolts locked from the inside. I had to crawl through the window to unlock it.
that's not even.
I got
said.
padlocks on the
So you
outside.
thinking that there was,
They were living in there.
that was living in there?
If you look at that bucket, and
See?
you can tell what that bucket is, they've been there. Yeah. So you just, there you go.
Right next to
My
my.
question
Oh, we
is,
found somebody home.
The camera system that's down there
Yeah.
is disconnected,
Never
does
was
not work,
Never been hooked up.
never been hooked up, wires are hanging.
I thought the camera system in Shady Grove so good.
No.
No,
I think
that was the one they wanted to hook on to Miss Gwen.
I'm like, no.
they didn't have Wi-Fi.
They didn't have Wi-Fi, they
It's
wanted
never
to
been-
go
it's
on
never
the because I'm right next door. and we
So unless
have
you
it.
go into that building, you don't know if somebody's in there. But see, I had padlocks on the outside, so it looks like it's secure. All you gotta do is put that board up there, and as long as the lights are off, it's secure.
Yeah, you don't think nobody's in there, you don't even
So
know.
that's what, they were smart not to turn the lights on, and when they did, they had the door jambs covered with, I guess, shorts or pants, for sure.
Do people play, is there anybody playing ball out there now at all?
I think
The middle school
that
still,
Middle school,
Yeah.
they
used to
still play? I was wondering
Middle
if
school
they still.
They still.
So what
So
I
is
done was,
anybody
I don't know if
using
y'all got
that
picture, I took
building?
plywood and done the whole entire window, both windows. So if they get in there now, they gotta turn all the plywood off.
They'll do it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They wanna get-
But at least we'll know that they're in there now. But I mean, that camera system, there's 4 cameras down there, and it's just useless. I mean, I know what we pay for them, but
Well,
That's what
this
don't
was
make
discussed
sense.
several meetings back. We discussed it several meetings back, that those cameras are out there, but they've never been hooked up.
No, cause he didn't have Wi-Fi.
And if we purchased them, I believe that we need to go have them brought back to City Hall.
I mean, we could put them up, I don't know why we couldn't just put them up here somewhere.
Put them up somewhere.
Yeah.
They
So we have them in there.
I didn't
Here, we
forget
have
her
place back in the
trailers.
back. I mean, there's 4
Well,
cameras.
how
there's
come he
box,
couldn't
and we
hook up
have-
Wi-Fi? Why? What is the
I
problem?
don't know.
Another phone line.
Huh?
Wouldn't that be another phone line, Jason?
I don't know I couldn't remember what the reason was.
He didn't have internet service there, I know that, but
Yeah, so
he's
there
gonna
was-
try to get it, but
I think it was expensive or something.
nothing's ever been done with it.
There's Jimmy.
Which one of the windows is not?
The,
North window?
yeah, it's always been knocked out. We had a board up screwed in there. And,
That was tore out. August 10th.
Yeah.
I know it was out August 10th, but right after the season.
yeah, so they had a chair and another chair for a wooden tail. It's, yeah.
I couldn't tell anybody.
They sleeping in there too?
Oh, you were sitting in there.
Yeah, they had a hot plate and
Oh, yeah.
Where's the hot plate
they
in
eating all
there?
the old chili.
It's a hot plate in there
Our three
already.
cans of chili were outdated by a year. And they ate that chili.
So that building is not used at
No, it's
all
not.
by the city. Well, why are y'all wanting to put a homeless person out on the street?
Come on.
Insurance, one reason.
He get hurt up in there, then who's gonna pay? He get found
Somebody's
dead up in
Well, I'll
there.
ride down there and tell you, you got extra bed.
He get electrocuted or something fooling around.
You do
in there.
too.
He had been-
We could put a cot in there for them.
Huh?
We could put a cot in there for them.
It's Rhonda. He's not living here.
Listen, he won't even dump his bucket.
No, and that's another
That's pretty
thing.
bad, yeah.
That was
I would
very
leave them a note
I have a
about
question,
that.
who's responsible for cleaning up the building?
Well, the
I'm
building
gonna go
has
ahead
never
and tell
been
you on
cleaned
camera,
up.
that's the rec department's building.
And they have, that building has
I
never,
notified the rec department and
You know, if they'd even pay $25.
That building has never
Yeah, I know about the rec department.
yeah, he knows. He was on work today, he was right out there.
it's never been, that building is, that room back there where that concession stand, it's always been a mess. It
Yeah.
has
Last
not
time
been
I was
cleaned
down
up.
there, that was
It's a mess.
Jason might have went with me. Last time it was broken into when the cameras was supposed to have been installed. Whoever broke into it then stole everything that was worth anything. There wasn't nothing in there worth nothing.
There's, no, the
Because all
freezer
it-
that's in there is tore up.
Yeah.
There's really
They got
nothing.
Well, why don't you
Destroyed.
just take,
It
that
needs
stuff
cleaning
needs
up.
coming out of there.
But
That old
the-
freezer that's in there
Yeah.
works, cause I seen the freezer, does it
Yeah,
work?
it's yeah, all that don't work.
What is it?
But I mean,
It
all
needs
the
cleaning
slide
out.
breaks in there and it fall, the holder here is installed in the roof up there, so if somebody tries to take it down and it falls on them, we're liable. I mean,
Well, when we had the,
I can clean it out.
when we had the dumpster out there, that would have been the time to throw all that stuff in
Yeah.
there. When we get
Yeah.
another dumpster out there, the recreation, he needs to come over there and clean that
Yeah.
stuff up and put it all in that dumpster.
Needs some work though.
It's, well, they're never gonna, I don't know what you could use it for.
You need to take and check your, playground equipment too. There's that biggest, I don't know what you call it, play unit or whatever you call it, it's got like a window in it. It's busted. All it's gonna take is a kid to run up and get us while they're up there.
Good God,
So-
that's a whole different story.
I don't know, I mean, he tells me.
I thought I had pictures of it, but I don't know.
So-
That's shady road, yeah.
So that, can that glass be removed?
Like it's, I call it a glass, but it's like a
It's
like a
plexiglass.
bubble that they crawl up in there and then they can look out.
Yeah.
And bust it all the way down.
You talking about the big one on.
The big play unit.
So if we take that out though, are we liable for the hole that it leaves?
Yeah, I wouldn't take it
No, I
out.
think you need to replace it,
Yeah.
not remove it.
Well, it just needs to be cleaned up.
Yeah.
And then there won't be nothing in there, so. Don't put nothing in it, that's all I can say.
When's the next time we get dumpsters, you know?
That's why I said the next time the dumpster comes,
Do we get them again this year?
We normally won't get them until spring.
it's spring now.
I can call Waste Management, see.
Yeah, of course you can order it.
Yeah.
Isn't there a dumpster out there? Isn't there a dumpster out there?
Garbage can. Dumpster's been gone.
They used to have one out there,
Yeah,
but
they used to have one.
stuff used to be all over the ground and everything.
Much out there and then they removed it.
I mean, it was too much trouble, because they
Yeah.
throw stuff on the ground just like they do at the Fort.
Yeah.
Do we need to call insurance about repairing anything?
It's just trash, I mean,
What about?
the window thing's been that way for, I think they've done that before.
What about the plexiglass thing? What about the plexiglass thing? Has it been any
Yeah, see, it's gotta be, then we done that one time, they busted it, we busted it, and they just popped it out. They wanna get in there, they're gonna get in there.
But the plexiglass and the playground equipment, I think, is what.
Yeah, but it's round, though. I mean, I'm gonna look at it.
Probably in the future, we're gonna continue to use that building, we'll probably have to put bars on
Yeah.
it. Be done with it, set of bars. We get Todd or somebody build a set of bars that fit in there and weld them in and be done with it.
Well, I mean, it's a block building. You know, we could fix it up and use it.
There ain't nothing wrong with it, it just needs fixing.
Yeah.
It's been,
Just no.
But it was elected,
Using that
it's been
field.
elected for so long.
the thing is, it sits out there, and we've been fortunate in Shady Grove. I mean, sportsplex, they hadn't had. You can live out there and you wouldn't know it. But they leave the gates open, gates is open now, been open for 2 weeks.
I know every time I go by there,
Yeah.
I don't know when they've been closed. Every time I go by there,
they're
they're open.
open.
No, they don't shut. But, we've been fortunate, the city has, but that building, people vandalizes that building.
Cause they used to go into the bathrooms, but they're locked now.
Yeah.
So they can't get in, but they used to be bad, the bathrooms
That's
used to
why
be
they use the
terrible
bucket.
out there.
But if the city's not gonna use it, you can tear it down.
Well, that's why I was asking you, do they play ball out there?
They still play ball.
If they don't do that, then they could extend the park, just, you know, make it a bigger
They play
park.
ball, but they bring their own stuff, sit up
Yeah,
outside.
it's messed. There's nothing in it.
But
To sell.
it has the potential to be used like it used to be used.
Correct.
If it's
Yeah.
cleaned up and fixed up and it's mowed and kept up.
Yeah.
And there are people now that are, using it, the walking track part of it, because there's some shade over there and there's not back here at the track. I've spoken to several people that use it.
Oh, they used to.
So we need, I mean,
We need to get it
we need to
cleaned
get it
up.
cleaned up and, you know, we talked about trying to have different things like Christmas bazaars and, you know, things like
That's a good
that. That
little
property
place.
can be utilized for a lot of things and we're just letting it sit there.
And we're not using it.
You know, recreation has not
Keep it up.
kept it up. It's, I don't know when it gets mowed.
But that park is used more than any park here.
It is, well, it's a
Because
good location.
Saturday, it was a really big,
They had a birthday,
huge
that's
group
my
out there
neighbor,
Saturday.
that was my neighbor had a birthday party.
I didn't know
More
what they
people
had.
uses that part.
Park than any of them.
Well, and they,
Yeah,
and
Timothy
softball
don't
teams
take care
used
of
to
that
use
park.
that
That park is
So
used more.
it was, you know,
That grass grows twice as quicker than
Yeah.
that sportsplex. That park has been neglected for several
Yeah.
years. Rec directors don't take care of that. Well, it's probably, they tell when you seen that concession.
well, that's one of the reasons why the middle school is not utilizing it anymore.
That's it. If you go down and look, it's just tracks.
Yeah.
You know, the building's tracks.
It's bad.
Even the bathroom.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Oh,
wonder
yeah.
the city don't get more complaints when
Yeah.
people go down and use the playground.
So they called me and I'm like, I give them Timmy's number. A lot of people call me about, but I give them Timmy's number and then that's the last I hear of it.
So those grills and things, those need to be replaced. The old, they broke in that.
And my neighbor had a birthday party, that's when the switch on.
Yeah, it was a huge group
Well,
out
I
there
have people,
Saturday.
friends and relatives that walk over there because
It'd be a nice
it's cool
place.
to walk and exercise over there.
I don't know whether they use it because it's easy access on the highway.
I think so, then, the
A lot of
gazebo
people
thing
use
is right
it.
there.
Almost
Play
every
area.
Saturday, there's
Yeah.
somebody out there having something.
There's a lot of people say.
Yeah.
Well, and when it was kept up and all, like I was saying, being softball, there was a lot of, you know.
Oh, it used to be a lot of people out there. That's why actually did the middle school still use it? Do they still
They
use
stopped
it?
using it last year because it was not being maintained and it was too much. It was just easier for them. That came from somebody from the high school, but it was, they just didn't have time to upkeep it.
Then
along
we
with everything
need to-
else, so they made other arrangements.
Then we need to look at getting a grant to make that a bigger park, if they're not gonna use it.
We need to maintain it, we need to clean it up. I'll get with Todd about, get a price of putting bars on the windows.
I'll mow it, I just don't want to step on his toes.
We need to,
I mean,
the council.
Get it on toes by mowing something that's supposed to be mowed, I don't think. I
But
think
if you look at the
anything
contract and
grateful.
look at your job duties,
Yeah.
it is to help you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it doesn't make, it's not about stepping on toes.
Right.
It's just about getting the job done. If you see something that needs to be done, do it. Don't
I
just,
get
don't
some
regret telling.
complaints. That park is my main complaint from everybody.
What, Shady Grove?
I don't get no complaints from Rick, I guess they come to whoever. But
Yeah, they come to the rest of
That's
it.
it. Does the council have a problem with us go ahead and get the dumpster and get it cleaned?
No,
I don't.
I thought I said that.
I think that the bathrooms and all need to be cleaned up and it go back to the last time we had a key up here at City Hall, they'd come and sign, whoever's used it that weekend.
They got the key.
They would
Yeah.
sign a piece of paper, turn in the key on Monday, use the bathrooms, use the water out there, whatever. I mean, it's for the community, they should be able to use it and enjoy it.
Yeah, we need to get back like that.
Well, there again, that falls on us and our,
Yeah, because they said that people, when people complain, what y'all
directing
doing
of
out
our
there? Shady Grove?
employees and contractors. All right, does anybody else have anything on that? No, let's move on to number 10. Vote to approve the 4th of July celebration contract for the fireworks. Has everybody read this contract? I had Michelle review it,
Yeah.
and she approved it to be presented to council. I will tell y'all that the date is the 1st.
Yeah.
Which is a Saturday, was the day they should do it. It went up basically, what he said. 10% is $18,150. With half of that needs to be paid up front by November 9th, hold the date, and so they can, get the orders in for the fireworks. I was told that it would be the same amount of time, same type of fireworks. Of course, it's not gonna be the exact same show, but it's, same as what's used last year.
So the parade and everything will be on the 1st, is that what you're saying?
Well, that's what we'll have to set, that'll be up to council to set, but this is the time that they can do the fireworks, which we've had them on the Saturday before, we've not always done them on the 4th. So, but if council goes along with this, then we'll need to set our parade and everything else, and we'll need to make sure that, well, I'll say for my part of it, I would like to make sure, city council make sure that, concessions at the sports camps are open, full blown, whether we have vendors or not. I say that let's let vendors come, but let's also have our concession stand open.
And the bouncing houses for kids.
This celebration is for the community, and it also brings money back to rec, so we can do more for the community. I see no reason why we shouldn't be making money on this event that we can put towards next year. That's the way it's always been.
The last time I cooked the 4th of July out there, we cleared $2,500 out of that concession stand.
Yeah.
I started cooking as soon as the parade was over and cooked till the fireworks went off.
I've seen times when it was open and there were food vendors out there, and Vernon easily come in with $4,500. So there's no reason that we can't make money to put
Well, the
back into.
concession stand, every year I'm in it, and I know that we're busy the whole time. I mean, you can't even stop. People up there, because I used to work in the concession stand every year, and he was saying he can have volunteers. Well, I volunteered, and there's other people that wanted to, so I don't understand why he didn't want to open it.
Well, back to the contract, this is pyro shows, this is the ones that we got last year. Everybody seemed pleased with them.
I noticed right here that it says no rain date selected. So
Same
if
as
we
last
have-
year.
If we have rain, they're gonna show up rain or shine around.
The way that it's explained, I mean, there was no rain date, like we don't set a date for them to come back.
Hey.
And that it's an issue.
He told me that when they were out that day, once they get it set up, it can rain all at once.
Yeah, this is one, but
They
this
use
is
all
the
their
same
digital.
contract that we agreed to last year, just prior.
They don't have to light them, it's all digital. He said, once it's set up, it can rain, it can flood, they'll still shoot.
But, I mean, if the council wants to wait and find somebody else, that's up to y'all, but I just, like I've expressed to y'all, I'm not in we're going to third year last minute on this.
Well, everybody liked it last year. We got a lot of good comments last year. It's the same people.
you know, they were easy to work with, they came in and saved us last year so, with that being said, I'm gonna ask for somebody to make a motion to accept this contract.
I make a motion to accept the contract.
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. So Candace, in the contract, it's got the, amount that has to be paid up front and the deadline date that it needs to be there. I will let him know tomorrow that it was approved. So, and give him your contact information, because I think he's got everything he needs from last year, but he may need another map about it or something. All right. Number 11, vote on additional pay disbursement for former deputy clerk. She's put it in our packet. You know, we all agreed to pay Rose the clerk's pay for the time that she was here. She's broken all that down. She even subtracted from the date that Candace started. But I say with
I don't say
everything
we need
she's
to give
done,
her
I think
that.
we need to pay her the total
I don't see why we
$785.96.
need to take that away.
Because she stayed and she didn't just wait for her time to get up, she worked.
And she's still coming.
And, yeah,
So,
and so,
I think we should give her the full amount.
so can I have a motion to pay Rose $785.96?
I make a motion.
Second it. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. Now, and on that, are we all in agreement? She's gonna come and help. There's some more things that, she wants to show Candace and,
That's
Ms.
fine.
Howard. I'll suggest that Candace schedule it for the, you know.
Okay, I'll talk to her tomorrow and
Know
we'll
when
work
she's
it out.
coming and all, because we're paying her the $13 an hour to do that, not the other.
Well, and plus it would be like temporary hire.
Yeah, it's just for her, in my understanding, that's why I said let Candace schedule it with her, because I do know that she talked to all of us about billing time, you know, the billing's coming up and stuff like that, things that she wanted to try to help them get through. Okay, so, number 12, vote to change the authorized signers on the bank accounts.
Make a motion.
Second? Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion
Who
carried.
seconded? I'm sorry.
I did.
Okay.
And number 13 is sign the checks. Me and Ms. Gwen will take care of that after the meeting. Number 14, a motion to move the ARPA funds to the appropriate account to pay the past due bill that's owed.
Make a motion.
Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. It's not on the agenda. I know that Mr. Braun was waiting. It's my understanding that this is your last meeting, Chad. Well, I wanna say, my father, it's been a pleasure. Serving the community.
Well,
And I appreciate everything you've done for the city.
I want to say something. I think Chad's been told he has to turn in his resignation. That true? Has he been
Not by
told?
us.
What about us?
No. Okay. So Chad, do you really want to resign your position at this point?
I don't want to, but.
Okay. Then why are you going to resign if you don't want to?
Man,
Why are you resigning if you don't want to?
I'm moving out of town.
Okay, but according to the charter, you don't have to, it's a gray area.
Okay.
Do you want to stay on and finish out your term through March?
I would love to.
Because if you don't, then according to this charter, if I'm reading it correctly, and I'm not the smartest person in this room by any chance, if you resign, then we have to have an election.
No, you don't have to have it.
Vacancies occurring within 90 days of annual election shall be filled by appointment of the council, or you're gonna have to have a special election.
We didn't follow the rules.
Look at the paper and see what it says. Am I reading that incorrectly? And I don't think we can afford to have an election.
Oh, we did. Well, we was thinking that as long as we was within that 6 months period.
It says 90 days.
Huh?
You should have a paper in front of you that's a copy from the charter.
Because you know how long, what's his name is gone, and he never got it.
You wanna see it?
Sanders, remember how long we didn't have him? A year almost.
Bunch of,
Yeah, but,
I think, get to be with his position.
Well, it just says that the election has to happen within 21 days after you call for it. So there's not a set time. You have to do the election after you have a vacancy. I mean, if it's kind of assumed that you have to live in the city in order to serve on the city council, or your charter's from 1926, I think.
we
Yes,
can't do it.
very well
Everybody
aware of
did
that,
live in the
because we
city.
were on that committee to fix
So
it.
it doesn't address every situation that.
No, it doesn't.
That comes up, but,
So it seems to me the council can make the decision, because it is a totally gray area. It is not addressed. And if he wants to stay, it's only till March, then y'all vote whether or not he can stay.
I'll say this in my opinion, that Chad knows it's not against him. As a citizen of Vernon, would I want somebody that lives outside the city representing me in the city of Vernon? In our county, would you want somebody living outside of Washington County, a commissioner, to represent me? I would.
It depends on their past actions. And I think that Chad has proved that he loves the city of Vernon.
I don't doubt
And he has,
that at all. but-
well, but you asked me. He has volunteered a lot of time and spent a lot of effort and money for the city and the, the rec department too, I guess, and the school and stuff, so, you know, I'm just a citizen. I'm saying if he wants to stay, then my suggestion to you guys is let him stay. But it's your
But what
decision,
happens-
you are the council, but you do need to know what the charter says.
What happens though, when the election come up again?
He can't run, he doesn't live here.
Well, then that's what I'm saying, if we, I don't know. I see where you're coming from.
I'm saying just let him
Are we
finish
setting
it
a
out till
precedent
March.
Where somebody from, anybody can run even if they don't live in
No,
the city?
no, it lays out that you
Okay.
have to be a resident to run for
But
election.
not to,
But this
if
is
you're
not
already there
running.
and moved. I see what you're
Exactly.
saying.
Always setting a precedent though, if this happens again.
It's happened before.
What?
That's what I'm fixing
One
to
of
say.
them, there was a mayor here before that did not live in the city. So,
Well, I'll let him just finish out his time if he wants to.
Yeah, just let him finish out
It
his
doesn't matter
time.
to me.
And hopefully, at some point, you guys are gonna redo this charter.
We'd be glad to have
you mean y'all are
The
gonna
thing about it is, Miss Rhonda,
But it has to be an election. We worked on it. You know we did,
it has
Michelle.
to be put before.
And
the
nothing
citizens
else
to
was
vote.
ever done
That's
about it
why
after all that
has to pass,
time.
Because it has to go before all the citizens.
So
Exactly.
at an election, could it not be presented then? Could it be passed, a new charter?
I mean,
At the
No,
next
it has to be-
election?
No, they won't let us do it that way, it has to be at home.
You have to have all these petitions signed and everything here.
And to be
Big
honest,
rigmarole.
I don't know, I know I can say that new charter that was written, I can't tell you everything that was in it now. I know there were a few things in it that I didn't agree on, it's been so long ago that I think it would have to be reviewed by
The only
council
thing I remember, they wanted to change
before,
the terms
it would
every
be put
before.
before anything.
You know, they wanted to change the
I'm gonna-
terms every 4 years.
And Miss Michelle, listen to what I'm saying, please, because I'm fixing to ask you your opinion. It's always been my understanding that, and it's happened both ways, you know, we've all argued on this subject about the election. There have been times in the past where somebody would resign and whether it was within 6 months or not, that seat was just empty until the next election. So, given the fact that we know that Chad is moving, but Chad has not moved yet. March is right around the corner. We have in the past had a mayor that never lived inside the city limits of Vernon. He just happened to have an address here. Would city council be in the wrong to allow Chad to stay until March?
Well, y'all don't have any authority to remove him from office.
No.
But as Vernon said, it's kind of gray. I can make the argument both ways. That it could be assumed that if you're no longer a resident of the city, that you would no longer be qualified to hold office within the city. But your charter doesn't state that explicitly. So, and I'll give you an example. If you wanted to try to fill your position by appointment, there are no criteria listed for what qualifies a person to be appointed to the city council. We kind of make the assumption that it would be a city resident, but your charter doesn't state that. It depends. A favorite lawyer answer. It depends.
Okay, so as vague as our charter is in some areas, if
You need time to read.
Chad doesn't come back to a meeting,
I've looked at it. I don't know that I'm gonna reach a set conclusion on this.
okay, so if tonight is his last night and he doesn't come back, that doesn't mean that we necessarily have to appoint anybody. If the seat can stay empty until March.
The mayor is required to call for the election, but there's no time frame for when the mayor has to make that call. So, no court would order the mayor to call for the election at a set time, because your charter doesn't state that.
Okay, well, here's where I'm at with this.
There's not a lot of legal risk.
I do not have the authority to tell him to go home.
Right.
So I'm not, as far as I'm concerned, I'll see you at the next meeting. I don't know how the rest of them feel about it,
I'll come get you.
but there's where I'm at. Everybody else can say whatever they want to about it, because if you don't come back, I'm not going to be pushing for, to fill the seat. I'm gonna say, let's wait till the election. So that being said, my opinion is, you haven't moved yet. We do not have the authority. I think in the charter, we have some authority over the mayor, but we don't have authority over each council member. None of us do, so my opinion is, I look forward to seeing the next meeting. I don't know how anybody else feels about it. Is there any discussion on it? Anybody got anything they want to say? Ms. Michelle?
It does open you up to the potential of a legal challenge. It is not likely at all that would happen.
I think the most thing that would happen, and I'm not no attorney, but somebody may call and report him, saying, hey,
Give him a cousin, and he don't live here. Because they know that's what they've heard over the years.
but like there again, we had a mayor, that, as far as I know, was mayor the whole blooming time he was here and never lived here. So if anybody has anything they want to say or a motion that they want to make or anything, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to call for a motion to dismiss. Not dismiss, but adjourn.
I'm saying, no, I got to say,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I have something to say before we adjourn.
Okay.
Chad, I do appreciate what you did. You know, I know we start off with everybody that gets up here. We start off slow until you learn the roots and all, but I appreciate it. One thing I got to say, and I'll say it on record, that's the difference in your position. You probably could have stayed up here and moved to Texas. As long as you made it to the meeting, nobody would have known. Because I'm coming behind you. But the thing is, I had a previous council member, beat me in an election, didn't live in the city of Vernon. I did not say a word. I took because I look at it different. If the folks that you try to do, your city job and, do the work for the citizens of Vernon and this county. If they don't go vote, if they don't have enough decency to go vote and put you in office and you get beat with 42 votes, they don't want you up here anyway, the way I look at it. But the thing is, you got 4 months left on your term. You know, I know the policy, our charter's great, it's always been great, but we ain't always done the right thing in the city of Vernon. Ever since I've been here 14 years, Ms. Gwen knows that. But the thing is, I have no problem with you saying 4 months. Now, re-election, if you move, it's a different story, because it puts the city of Vernon, and anybody can run. I'm like Gary, anybody can run like me and you.
Yeah, I
I move
agree
up
with
there to
that.
Douglas Ferry, me and you can put in and run and stay here till we retire. But the thing is, it's a vacant seat. We've always had a vacant seat up here, and I hate to see you go. And I hate to see a vacant seat. It's hard to find somebody to take this job and progress the city forward, move forward. And you know, like I said, with that said, I'm with Becky. You know, if you want to stay, stay. Next meeting, workshop, be here. What can they do to you? Government gonna come down here and remove you? I don't know. We'll see. But it's your call. I've enjoyed working with you and all of you.
Me too.
So, but, you know, it ain't no set thing on the chart. That's a gray area, so, so you do what you want.
Ms. Gwen, you got something to say?
No, I was going to, Lonnie had called me to make sure that we keep his Thanksgiving date open.
Oh, yeah.
For his,
Oh, good. For the community thing?
yeah, for the community center. So he wanted to make sure that nobody, I was like, who's gonna take his Thanksgiving with you? But anyway, he wanted me to bring it up to make sure that we know that he is going to be doing the dinner again this Thanksgiving. And then what did we decide on apron? What did we decide? Did you, are you aware of what we had decided about Apron Brown, the firefighter?
Okay, our checks for this month, everybody but Ms. Mary, she's handling hers a different way, goes to Adrian Brown. So you'll need to get with Lee or Garrett on that, because they'll be coming in this week, I think, is payroll.
Yeah,
Thursday.
we're doing that Thursday morning.
So I guess what they can do, because it has to go after, it has to be done after the taxes and all that have been taken out of it. And then I guess he could just make one check out of
Just one
the
out.
balance. to-
He's coming Wednesday, so we'll talk
Okay.
about it I'll talk to him about it Wednesday.
Does
So-
anybody else have anything to say?
Yeah, my question is, how much do y'all make per
We make $400
We tell
a
them how
month,
much
but
we
they
make.
take out,
$400?
they take out taxes and
It's about
all that
$300.
has to be paid,
Okay.
and then we're able to donate what's left.
About $340.
So should I donate through the city or through the fire department
She wants to.
for this? I want to.
You can hand it to me.
Yeah, no, you're doing something different.
Well, if you want to donate, I guess, I don't know how you would put her in with that.
You would probably wanna go to the fire.
The fire department, okay. All right, so let him contact me.
Well, you can.
Your nephew, I can give you the check.
Give them the check. You bring it up here, when she pick up that check up when his wife, cause he can't pick up. And somebody says now that it is cancer, I don't know. I keep hearing different stories and I need to call them again and find out for sure, but
He needs the help.
yeah, they have said that it is, they found out that it is, so I don't know.
So you're gonna do a check this week to the family?
Well, I think Garrett, Lee, and Garrett have been doing payroll from what I understand.
Yes.
I send them the information Thursday, and then they do it on their end, and then I print the checks from my end. So I guess y'all been doing that for a few months or something?
We, ever since we hired Lee on, we did that back in, I wanna say January.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Does anybody else have anything? Can I have a motion to adjourn? Second,
Second.
discussion. All in favor? Meeting adjourned.